Yeah, Jeremy, and that is the beginning of Card Show Live, and we'll say that this segment is actually presented by Collectibles on SI. So if you haven't watched that, they have some powerful stuff going on too. Collectibles on SI and in our partnership too with Sports Cards Nonsense. Um, I didn't learn this today as you learned about auditors, but I've been noticing how many card shows are going on, and this is a reason that we brought this segment upon us. And maybe one day it turns into his own show. But there are so many shows going on in the country over the next couple of weeks, including the one in Valparaiso, Indiana, when we'll talk to Haley here in a few minutes about her show. But there's a major show going on in Dallas that happens, I think, I don't know, between 4 and 6 times a year. But they do it at the Marriott Dallas Allen Convention Center, and I mean, it's every bit of 700 tables. They have a huge trade night. People come from all over the country. This is one of the major shows in the country that happens several times a year. So that's happening this week, the 4th through the 7th. If you're anywhere in that region, I know people come from Oklahoma, they drive right down, but people fly from all over the country to this show. Dallas is an easy place to get in and out, and a show that's on our bucket list. And hopefully next year we can get to one of these shows. But we wanted to highlight that is probably the major show this weekend. 700 tables in Dallas. We said that the show Sunday, but next weekend I want to focus on a couple because it's not so easy, because I'm telling you this on a Tuesday night to get on an airplane on a Wednesday to fly to Dallas. But next week, there's actually several large shows around the country. The Culture Collision show in Atlanta, that's like 400 or 500 tables. And what's cool they do at this show, they do a little 3-on-3 basketball tournament between, like, influencers, vendors, anybody can sign up. So kind of a little side thing that they do. They do a little bit like we do at the Medina County Collectors Fair, where they have pop culture. So there's like sneakers there and other things. But it's mainly predominantly a sports card show, and like 400 tables there, which is interesting. 400 tables there in Atlanta. And then you can go up to Minnesota the same weekend to the state card show there. They advertise over 500 tables and 100,000 square feet. We talked about the West Coast Card Show being, 200,000 square feet. This is half of that. So if you were at the West Coast Card Show, this is probably another one of those major ones that you're going to want to hit. 500 tables in Minnesota. So 2 shows, 900 to 1,000 tables going on next weekend, September 11th, 13th, that weekend. Also that weekend, though, there's a show in Louisville, Kentucky. Jeff Mayrose, JJ Allstar, who does the Midwest Monster in Indiana, has a monthly show in Louisville. So I wanted to shout that out to him. And also a friend of the show through Thomas Fisher and Gemini Sports Cards, Matt, who has a store down in Charleston, South Carolina, has his show at the Citadel. There's a field house at Citadel College. And what's really cool is they have the entire Citadel Bulldogs basketball team signing autographs at that show, much like we do sometimes up here. So Charleston, South Carolina, go to the Citadel, check out Matt's show, Collector's Corner. You can look up his Instagram if you're down in that area. So a lot going on. But this weekend, we want to focus with HB Cards, Haley Williams, who's a friend of ours. We've been to their show, Haley and Ben. They run a show in South Bend, but they also now have a new show in Valparaiso, which is also the home of their card shop, Pokemon TCG. So let's bring in Haley. Let's talk a little bit about their show, how they got to where they are, and what you guys can expect to see at this show.
Hi guys.
Hi, Haley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you in your now up and running shop?
We are not up and running. We are up. We're waiting on some final inspections, but we're just a few weeks out. We've been working pretty much every day getting it ready, and this is it. This is part of it.
It is. I can't wait to see it. We're starting to get into the Pokemon space with our shows here, but
Yeah.
tell us about this show in Valparaiso. What are people going to see this weekend?
So we actually expanded. This is our third show at this venue. It's at the Porter County Fairgrounds in the Expo East and the 4-H building, before we just had the Expo East and we were at about 100 tables, but we've expanded that to 160 tables. And we're almost exactly 50% sports, 50% TCG at this one.
Mm, that's terrific. This,
Mhm.
as you said, being your third, but not your third overall show. You've been doing shows for a while in South Bend. So how long have you guys really been in this together?
We've ran the South Bend show for 3 years now. Like this weekend on Saturday will be our 3rd-year anniversary, which is crazy. And I want to say, you were kind of an inspiration for us because you run so many shows in the area. And like a 40 table show is like not that big of a deal. Like we have a great show, we have a really good crowd with a huge wait list. But I wasn't ready to like jump into having a bigger show or another show for that matter because we have a 3-year-old and it's just crazy. So we saw that you were running so many different shows and then like you did your Pokemon only show and I was like, man, like that seems so much fun and I would really love to do that. I don't know if we're near a Pokemon only show, but I really like having like the mix of both and kind of doing what you do just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? It wasn't something where we did overnight and said, "Hey, let's do Pokemon." We've seen it starting to explode, which you know a lot about because you are Pokemon. That's really what you guys focus on. You know what your shop is going to focus on, but there's still the need for both, right? And that's kind of so. Your area, Valparaiso, there's the college there. How far is that from South Bend? How easy can people get to this show?
It's only an hour away, and we're actually an hour away from Chicago. I just looked that up to kind of see, like, we're directly in the middle between South Bend and Chicago. So it's really great. Like, we're able to bring a crowd from both areas. Oh, somebody's coming to my door.
We're closed. We're closed. You
All
don't
the
get that other than live. Yeah, we're closed.
yeah.
Ve- Very cool. Is there a lot of people that do some of those shows that are going to come down to Valparaiso?
Our South Bend show.
Yeah.
There's a few, but surprisingly, not everybody because there's some other shows going on in the area. There's a big show like just outside of Chicago also going on. So we were kind of competing with that, but we have promoted a ton to like the Indiana and Southwest Michigan crowd. And that's like, it's easy to get dealers into a show, but you really want to get like the foot traffic in. So, like, we have wait lists for all of our shows, but if we're not promoting to people in the community to get them in, then I feel like I'm not doing my job as a show promoter.
Haley, you're
Listen, yeah,
3 years in now to producing these shows. You've got your shop. As we've talked on this show in the past, there's a lot of different stakeholders when you have a show. You've got the dealers, you've got the sponsors, you've got the community, you've got attendees. What have you learned in these 3 years that you can apply to the experience for each of those stakeholders and coming together to make a signature show?
Oh gosh. I feel like we do a really good job at promoting, like I said, to just the community and getting our name out there. And all of our dealers equally realize the importance of promoting the show that you're about to be at. And from the beginning, I thought that it was like all my responsibility. Like my husband and I both run the show, but like I do all the back end stuff. I coordinate with the dealers and do all of the advertising and payment collections and table placements and all of those things. He's just the strength that helps set up and tear down and everything. And I used to think at the beginning it was like my responsibility to get the people in the door. And after like the first year, I was like putting so much stress on myself. And I realized like it's kind of a collective effort to get people there. Like maybe back in the day when there were the mall shows that were crazy busy and like the Beanie Baby era, like there wasn't a ton of shows, but like everybody just knew to go to those when they were going on. And now it's so different. Like everything is social media based and just word of mouth. And I feel like I'm not gonna like toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like we run a good, like fair show and we have no problem with like telling dealers like if there's any like suspicions. Like I don't know if you guys seen the video that happened at our cell phone show a few months ago. It has like over 3 million views now with somebody who was caught stealing. And I feel like us saying like we aren't going to stand for this. We're not going to have anybody, whether it's a dealer or a patron, come to our show. And if they put our community at risk, we're not going to allow them to be there going forward. And I think that's what makes us a little bit different than other promoters. But I do know now that there are a lot that will give their security team like photos of people and say, do not let these individuals in because we suspect them of stealing or if they've actually been caught stealing. So that's really, really important for us, just keeping everybody safe, as well as getting people in the door who are genuine and good for the community.
I did see the video. I did, and I think you guys did a terrific job with that. I mean, it's really tough to be put on a spot when something like that happens, and to come up with the right solution for it. So, kudos to you. I mean, I saw the video, I heard all about it, and yeah, I mean, you did what was right for your show, and you know that's I think a lot of people appreciate that. So
Yeah.
I know we've been to a couple of your shows. We're going to come back. It's on the calendar, so we do look forward to that. I always look forward to seeing you when we see you at other shows. So listen, we appreciate your time. Tell us again, where is the show? What's the address? Where can people find it?
We are at the Porter County Fairgrounds at 215 East Division Road in Valparaiso, Indiana, at the Expo East and 4-H building this Sunday.
Perfect. And the best place they can find you online is where?
Oh, Instagram or Facebook are probably best if you want a quick response from us, but we're most active on Instagram. We post all the time. We post community polls on there, which is really fun, getting like the kids involved with everything. So we really focus on our Instagram community.
And that is _HB Cards.
For HB Cards, yes.
Perfect. Haley, thank you very much. Good luck this week, and we'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Yeah, I'll
Yep.
see you. Bye.